Alright, hello, and welcome back to the Crossword vlog, aka Clog, Monday edition and Tuesday edition, classic double feature. I realized at the end of the last episode I forgot to enter in the Sunday time, but for those of you that like to play along and see how your times compare to mine, that's what the week looked like. But it's a new week now, so let's get started with the Monday. Um, we're looking at, I don't know, fairly normal looking Monday grid, sort of a boxed up corner there. Fairly open down here, so this could be a source of problems, but it could also be, because this is Monday difficulty, I'm hoping that these fives are fairly easy. I'm actually going to put on my glasses for this, make sure that I'm in peak form. Okay, let's get it started. Ceremonial rod. Let's tie. Carnation. This is aha. Maybe a vase. MTV. I think a mace. Cash. Crop. EIEIO. And then hick. Card counting. A stout maybe. Coal slaws. Sit. Ottawa. Okay. Spec. Contract from a publisher. Book deal. Okay. Maybe EOS. Rebounds. Air. Eros. Recoat. T. Repo. Of course. Par. Wrap. Coca-Cola. Inca here. Christian Dior. I do once. 9. Easy. Okay. Compadre. Amigo. Roars from a crowd. Egrets. Christmas. Coal. Okay, I guess a yard. Riots. DNA. Oahu. Chow. Wait. I guess this is Eli. And then walk. Sis, maybe? Okay. Concert. Maybe an amp. Pranks. Aorta. Reds. Taut. Ashy. Open seas. Masa. Chalupas. Phi. Lima. KOs. Caitlin Clark. Omni. Indra, Easy Tiger, a widget, Napa, Peaks, Asia, Kind, Tina, Classic, Let It Rest, Star, Keen, Donut, Diesel, We Won, Slang, As Am I, Ios, Keen. That seems wrong, but hmm. Orange, all of those seem okay. Arrows, air. This just seems wrong. Book deal. Characteristic. Keen is not a characteristic. I'm in. We win. Ah, that one's painful. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at the puzzle. I think any puzzle that has Reb in it is suspect for sure. Um, so our feature, oh boy, of every clue in this puzzle. Yeah, so I'm not sure I understand the open part. Um, so I guess now that I look at it, every single one of these clues starts with C's. Um, and you see they put this in parentheses with an exclamation point, but I'm not sure why people do this with their clues. Um, like basically every single time a puzzle does this sort of thing where all of their clues need to conform to some rule, um, it just makes the puzzle worse. It's pretty hard to imagine someone like having more fun with the puzzle because the clues are constrained. Like objectively, it just means that the clues are going to be worse because the optimal clue probably doesn't start with a C in most cases. Um, and then all of these are like, it's like both words of the answer, or all three in this case, start with a C. But it's not clear to me why that's open Cs. Um, like that doesn't quite track in my mind. Um, and also clearly the clues are working differently than the answers here because, um, again, this is every single thing has a C in it, but crossing guards command, I mean, this one's a G, there's WB here. So it's kind of an unclear theme in my mind. Um, homophonic, open C's, open C's, open C. Is it just that the words open with a C? Um, I will say all of the answers here stand on their own despite the theme. So I'm not mad about that at all. I think all of these are pretty solid. I think Coca-Cola Classic being maybe the weakest of them. But Caitlin Clark is definitely in, you know, the zeitgeist at the moment. Card counting and cash crop, I appreciate those. I did like Let It Rest and Easy Tiger. But yeah, I'm still kind of annoyed by this Keen thing. Um, and I'm now that I understand that this was like that all the clues needed to start with a C. I kind of understand why this was such a bad clue. It's just like they couldn't think of another way to clue this starting with a C. Um, but yeah, characteristic. Like you would think that as like as wit or something. Keen is just an adjective. I just don't like this just seems objectively wrong. And yeah, I'm annoyed at this particular one. Um, that being said, yeah, this is just such an annoying one. But that being said, if I look at this objectively, I think this is generally better than your average Monday puzzle. Well, I don't know. The theme is just so tortured. I almost like prefer to look at this as a themeless, in which case it would be a pretty solid themeless puzzle. Um, but yeah, I just really don't enjoy the like this sort of thing. This is one of those cases where the theme like actively detracts from my enjoyment. Like I think without the theme, I would probably rate this like a 6.5, and with the theme, I'm just gonna give it a flat 5 out of 5 or 5 out of 10. Um, anyway, uh, lost 30 seconds, but we can gain that back. Uh-oh, this is a complicated looking thing going here. Uh, Probably words are going to be spelled out here. Let's get started. Um, USSR, nano, clog, entrees, permanent salon, snort, Roger Ebert, Elmo, uh, for an Eleanor, emo, Diablo, maybe Nell, and Oregon, okay. Uh, Meme coin, huge. Ion, Dogecoin, enormous, uh, sundry or sundry suggestions, tips, Ophelia, logic, irony. So is this just all Oregon? Um, Mount Rushmore, Aegis, I think, Agog, Panini, Polo, Bop, Prove, Approve, Helps, Sepia, Opine, Sepia, an easel, uh, once, Neil, Gins, uh, Bend, Oregon, okay, Bad Nero here, delete, or Bad leg, or gone, went, glob, maybe, egos, touch and go, play S here, JPEG, para, yeah, Eros, singers, Jabs, Aaron, um, NY Met, Brody, and my Yankees, sassy Norse gods. Even so, maybe low cost. Constantly noble gas. Some Finns. Pass on here. Pause. RAs. Inert gas. Tag. Maybe just go. Maybe a pager. Rep something. Rigid. I can. Econo. Dorsals. Okay. Erica. Stiffly demure. This could be Lego. Eden. Poured over. Blige. APB. Apple, I guess. Prim. I'm on. Misk. Alright. So, not bad, but not enough to make up time yet. Yeah, let's go ahead and look at the puzzle. Yeah, I don't know how much I care for this theme either, to be honest. Again, this sort of feels more like a stunt than an actual attempt. I don't know. Maybe that's my experienced solver perspective seeping in. I could imagine an alternative world where, um, yeah, now that I see it a little better, to be honest, I didn't realize that this is always, they're always um, in order, I guess. It sort of felt like they were twisted in knots more than it actually was, partly because there's two O's. And so it's sort of like when you're seeing this blob, it's sort of hard to see that it's Oregon like this. Um, so I can imagine someone using that and having it help them with the solve. So maybe it's not fair to me for me to say that this is more of a stunt than an actual theme. Um, so with that in mind, I do think I feel a little more positively about it, but not a lot more positively about it, to be honest. It is a cute idea, but I think in practice, what it means is that there's really not much super interesting fill. If we're looking at the long stuff, there's Bend Oregon as the revealer, which sure is fine. But then Roger Ebert is not a particularly exciting bit of fill. Norse Policeman. Norse Gods is a nice one for sure, but it's crossing stuff like inert gas and dorsals. Rushmore and Ophelia. Ophelia is good. Rushmore without the mount is, you know, not that exciting, nor are entrees and approve. So we're sort of left without much spice, and like all of the theme content is actually just the same word over and over again, which just sort of feels unexciting. And then you have stuff like Diablo's good, Bad Leg is not. Um, so I don't know, it all just sort of feels maybe a little stale, is what I would say. Um, this one's a fun little bit of trivia. I should have known that. Leonardo da Vinci, meaning from Vinci, I suppose. Um, so yeah, I think, it was a nice try. I don't like Econo, to be honest. It was a nice try, but I think this is worse than the average Tuesday puzzle. I'm gonna give this one a 4 out of 10. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.